Flesh mind can never understand the spirit mind, no matter how hard they try. Until the person's born again, they can't even hear. They can't even hear. The flesh mind is cartoon land. The flesh mind is the 666 cube. The flesh mind is the AI program. It's the AI flesh mind. The world, the flesh, the pride of life. The flesh mind is it's totally upside down pyramid. That's why it's fooled by the Freemason pyramid, upside down pyramid. That's why it's fooled by the contradictions of government, media, Dr. Fake, the vaccines. The flesh mind is fooled by the whole system because the whole system's a lie, and the flesh mind believes lies and wants to believe the dream. It's all a dream. It's all fake. The reason you're under a blue sky is because your flesh is nothing but sin, and blue represents the law, and the flesh is under law. The only thing that restrains the flesh is the law. What restrains the spirit? The spirit. The spirit man is restrained by the Holy Spirit. The flesh creature, the flesh man, is restrained by the law. Two different worlds here in plain view. Right now, you can look at this steering wheel and you see one world. But if you spend enough time decoding the words and the language and breaking it all into parts, you realize this is a projection from the spirit realm. This feels real. You touch it, it feels real. But it's just an object. And every object is an object lesson. 3D land is cartoon land. You know it's cartoon land because your body is clay and water and blood. How can a clay body walk around? The only reason you understand dirt is because you came from the dirt. The only reason you can understand water is because you have water. The only reason you can understand oil is because of oil in your body. The only reason you can understand that house is because your body's a house. The only reason you can understand that car is because your body's a car. It's a vessel. It's a ship. That car is a ship. Everything's a ship because ship is hip. Eve is a piece cut off from Adam. She's the hip of Adam, cut back in. Mankind is a piece cut off from God being cut back in. So God uses cartoon land, 3D land, to cut you and to turn you back to source, which is God. And the game is to keep you blind. The devil's game is to blind you, to put blinders on. All these objects are object lessons. Doesn't matter if I'm sitting here, this is an object lesson. Doesn't matter if I'm sitting here, doesn't matter if I'm across the street. Every object is an object lesson. Every object is a derivative from the spirit realm. You know it is because Jesus spoke it all into existence. So if he spoke it, everything's off river. Everything deriver, off river from the spirit realm. So when you look at this right here, do you just see a bottle? I don't just see a bottle. I see a bottle, yeah, I can see the bottle. But I also see spiritual truth. It's got a cap. It's got a cap, the captain of the ship. When you turn it over, it looks like a ship. If it had water in it, it looks like waves. There's the head. Here's the body. This looks like the body. There looks like the shoulders and the hip. This looks like a body. There's always a head and a body. You got a head and you got a body. Your body's a ship. There's the object lesson right here in plain view. I just showed it to you. Now when you walk away, just like the movie The Matrix, you can show somebody the truth, but as soon as they walk away, okay, I just gave you the object lesson. It's hidden in plain view. It's right here. As soon as you walk away, The cares of this life drown it out. You forget about the object lesson. I could show you an object lesson right here. Blue and red. Cold and hot. Red versus blue. Team red versus team blue. Football, basketball, hockey. They got the red shirts versus the blue shirts. You got the Democrats versus the Republicans. It's face-to-face turning machine. I just showed you an object lesson. But as soon as you walk away, the cares of this life will drown it out. The black and white and the red. There's the checkered board. There's the blood. AC, Antichrist, but it's also the sine wave. So why is it Antichrist? Because it's the snake eating itself, the creation eating itself. So as you go around and around and around your daily routine, it's the snake eating itself. But if you only eat of the temporal, of the natural, you die. But if you eat of that eternal word, he says, drink of my blood, eat of my flesh, you can live. You can have eternal life. And actually, when you eat, it's a type and shadow of eating. So all these words with the suffix ate, A is blood, T is the cross, E is the spirit. So when you read the word eat at the end of a word, or just read it, I ate something. Do the anagram. I eat something. T-E, I drank some tea. Connect, T-E, connectivity. Eat, ate, tea, T-E-A, tea. You drink some tea. You eat some food. So you chew the food, you cut it into parts, you turn it over in your mouth, it becomes a part of you, and then you can flow. Cut, turn, union, flow. I put the key in the ignition, cut, turn, the pistons and all, you union, and then I can flow down the street. Same truth everywhere, all the time, across the street, here, in another state, everywhere. What you're doing, look, let me show you the hologram. This is what I want. I want to show you the hologram. What's in that house? There's a bed, there's a lamp, there's a mirror, there's a table, there's a phone, there's a clock, there's a radio. How do I know that? I haven't been in there to see what they've got. What's in that house? There's a bed, there's a clock, there's a TV, there's a radio. How do I know that? What's in that house? What's in that room? There's a bed, there's a clock, there's a mirror, there's a TV, there's a phone. How do I know that? It's a hologram. It repeats. How do I know that? That person is a person per the sun. So each person, you're actually looking at yourself, a different version. Each person is a multiverse. So they talk about the multiverse, they talk about the hologram, they talk about teleportation, they talk about time travel. You're already a time traveler. You want to get out of time because time is befallen. So when you see a person, they got to brush their hair, they got to put clothes on, they got to take a bath, they got to look in the mirror, they need their alarm clock to go to work. You know that they have to deal with the same thing you do. They got to wash their clothes. There has to be running water in there. There has to be some electricity, some kind of heat system. So it's the same repeat. Now, if I can see into that room without seeing in that room, because I just know that I know that I know what's in there and there and there, it's holographic. How do I know that? How do you know it? You just know it. Because it's a hologram. If I go over there to that blade of grass right there, if I go over that blade of grass right there, and then I go over there to that yard, that blade of grass, it looks the same. and it's the same color. How come the color green is the same over there as it is over there? It's a hologram. Quantum physics. How come the electron over here, I quantum connect an electron over here, and then I take it over here, and it has this, it's quantumly connected, and it has the same spin? How is that even possible? What I do to this electron happens to this electron instantaneously. What's the field? It's the same electron. It's the same truth. It's the same object, really. How's it possible when I had my car, I went to the Ford place, I touched this car and I quantum connected with it, and then a year later I'm driving it? How's that even possible? Time don't exist. Space don't exist. What's out there? The stars have the story of the script written in it, and it's a projection from the stars into this plane. This is a pocket universe. This is all a projection from the cross. You're in a Genesis 3 repeat every day. What happened in Genesis 3? The flesh versus the spirit. Hath God said, you can be your own God. There's where witchcraft started. Everybody's in witchcraft when they're born in this place. Time is befallen. Time is witchcraft. The cube is witchcraft. The 666 cube box system is witchcraft. Everybody's in a box, a piecemeal. That's witchcraft. People in rebellion, witchcraft. People in idolatry, witchcraft. It's all the energy of the flesh. So you see Adam and Eve fell, befall. It's actually Genesis 1, Genesis 3, Genesis 4. It's Ephesians. It's in every page. It's in every verse. It's in every letter. It's in every shape. This, like right here, if you focus on this whole setup, you can see the Babylonian winged disc right here. You can see it right here. So this is the 666. But behind the 666 is the blood of his cross. The black and white is the cross. The red is the blood. So the devil, or your flesh mind, is right here in front of you. But the spirit mind in type is right here in front of you too. The same truth. The same objects. But there's two truths. For 5 years, I studied the 666. On this bottle right here, if you can see it, every barcode, this is 6, the middle one is 6, and this out one is 6. I studied that. I'm the one that decoded that. 6, 6, 6 on every barcode. The outside, the middle, and the outside. 666. So that's the flesh. But I showed you the captain of the ship, Christ and his body right here. So you see the 666 code right here, but behind the 666 code, there's a deeper code, Christ and his church. The head and the body, the captain and the church, the captain and the ship. You have a head, that's why you wear a cap. And notice when you turn it, it twists. You have a body. There's the Babylonian winged disc of Babylon, 666. But there's the black and white and red, the blood of his cross. Black, white, and red is the blood of his cross. From your fingertip to your elbow is 18 inches. 6 inches plus 6 inches, that's 666. That's why it's called a cubit, the cube. A cube has 6 sides, a 6-sided cube. When you unfold a cube, you get a cross. So what's happening is the flesh mind is closing the story of the cross. And you're in a little box, you're in your little cube, everything is darkness, you can't see because you're in the cube. But as you unfold the cube, you see a cross. If I was to walk over there and knock on that door, there's a cross on that door. There's a cross on that door. And the peephole is in the middle of the door, the heart of the door. You can't see out the door without your heart being right. And so if I look in the window, there's a cross there. If they look out the window there, there's a cross on the window. The screen on the window has little crosses. So they're in their cube, but to look out from the cube outside, they got to look through a peephole. They got to go through the door, has a cross on it. They got to look through the heart of the door. They got to look through the cross on the window. The screens have cross sections. Cross the street, cross your mind, cross with your neighbor, cross your arms, cross your legs, cross your heart, hope to die. It crosses your mind. When you walk, your legs are crossing. Cross-eyed. Crossword puzzle. The puzzle is the cross and the word. My point is, time don't exist, space don't exist. This is all a projection from the cross. It's all a story. S-T-O-R-Y. S-T is the snake on the cross. O-R-Y is having to do with the cross. So, but this storyline that plays out in everybody's life, everybody's in their little cube, everybody's in their little multiverse story. And so as we face off with each other, we're all in the same story, but it's a projection in each person's life. So they have their little world, they have their little world, they have their little world, I have my little world, you have your little world. But it's the same story repeating over and over and over and over and over. What they experience, you experience. It might not be exactly the same, but it's the same story. It's all a projection from the cross. So when you see the four beasts facing off face to face, no matter which way you look at it, it's still a worship service. No matter what job they go to, they're going to serve. They go to serve. Everybody goes to a job. They're all serving. Why are they serving? Greatest among you is a servant. God is training you. This is a simulated training program, training you to serve. And so God, during the cartoon experience, is teaching you how to serve, how to worship. Because when you leave 3D into 5D, that's when it gets real. 3D is cartoon land. Oh, you can make some mistakes down here, but when you move into the spirit realm, it's just pure. Your body's a temple. You worship God. You serve God. You're made for God. The woman was made for the man, not the man for the woman. Nevertheless, in Christ, in the Spirit, they're all one. So down here in 3D land, people have different roles and responsibilities and service. Husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church. That's how he serves. Wives, submit as unto the Lord. That's her service. But you're learning to serve one another. The word minister is serve. So you're learning to minister each other down here in the training program, because when you hit the 5D, you're serving God. You're serving him right now, but it's going to get real, really fast. And when if we have a war, it's really going to get real. It's already getting real with the gas prices and the food shortages and all that stuff. It's getting real. It's getting ready to get real. People are going to have to get their heart right. Serve one another. The greatest among you is a servant. Love one another. So the simulated training program, that's why it's called a train, because it's in series, sequence. So all these objects are not even real. They're just projections. And the reason they're projections is because they're hitting you in your 5 senses to bring you back to your senses. And somebody says, well, how do you know all this? How do you see all this? Because the words reveal it. The code reveals it. The hologram reveals it. All I have to do is take a word and holographically find the common denominator, and the truth just appears. It has to appear. I'll give you an example. A, B, C, D, E. The letter E is spirit. I can grasp deep spiritual truths only by the Spirit. Grasp the truth and hold on to it. Hold it. Contain it. Now, when people go out on the town, there's a couple, and then there's the fifth wheel. The fifth wheel is what? Not needed, because it's extra. It's superabundance. It's more than needed. So it's called the fifth wheel. So a car has 4 wheels. The fifth wheel, why do they call it a wheel? Because your wheel is a chariot. So the spirit realm is the fifth. The hidden hand is the letter E. The spirit realm is the hidden hand. It's the fifth. It's the ether of the spirit. And you know the letter E is spirit because you got elevator, which is going up to raise you up. You got elephant, which is high. You got the ethereal plane, which is higher. You got the ether that goes up. You got email that's instant. Why is it called email? Because it's instant. The spirit realm is instant. The letter E is the hidden hand. The letter E is the spirit realm. It's spirit in Spanish. Espirit. It is written. So everything in 5D is instant. It's higher than 3D. It's to raise you up, and so you can grasp deep spiritual truth. Would I have been able to see that before? This is just a bottle, right? Oh, it's just a bottle, and it's just a blue label and a green. That green don't mean nothing. That don't really have a deeper meaning. How can that have a deeper meaning? The reason it can have a deeper meaning is because everything comes from the spirit realm. Everything points back to Jesus. Everything points back to the cross because everything's a projection from the cross. Space don't exist. Time don't exist. The only reason it looks like it exists is because the flesh mind needs it to be birthed out of cartoon land into the spirit mind. I'm not mad. I'm just wishing or hoping or praying that somebody can grasp this truth. When I make that noise, it reflects back. This light reflects here off of this. Everything reflects back. The farmer puts a seed, it reflects back. Husband and wife make a baby, it reflects back. Your thoughts reflect back. Everything reflects back because it's a copy and image. God made man in his image, which is what? A copy. You're in a copy machine. The only reason you can understand a copy machine at work is because you got one. I got a copy machine in the house. But the only reason you can understand a copy machine is because you're a copy. The only reason you can understand a fax machine is because the word of God is being transmitted from heaven down to earth. God controls the languages. So if you start asking questions, who controls the languages? Why do all the babies say ma? Why are all the stoplights red? Why is there underground cable connected to U.S. and China and Russia? Why do all the nations have a flag? I mean, come on, that's it. Why do all the nations have a flag? Really? Come on. That tells you they're all connected. I mean, it's just a joke. It's all theater. It's all theater. If you want the 666, there it is. You can choose that path. But if you want the blood of his cross, there it is. You can choose that path. It's a choice. You can choose the devil and destruction, or you can choose life and God. And you have to ask yourself, why are you doing stuff that's not healthy? Every decision you make should be a healthy decision. And if you're not making healthy choices, somewhere deep down, you love death. Why do you love death? Why are you seeking your own destruction? Why are you not making healthy choices every decision you make? Why? Somebody's brainwashed. You could have brainwashed yourself. System, MK Ultra mind control. The whole system is death. It's a death cult. Here's a disc, here's a disc with some, what is it? I forget. classical music. Discover the classics. Anyway, so this turns. You start out here on this edge, and as it turns, it's going towards center. So the DVD is a disc is turning, just like the universe. You can, if you want to think you're on the flat Earth, fine. If you want to think you're on a round Earth, it doesn't matter. In a hologram, you find what you're looking for. If I leave this driveway and say, okay, I'm going to find a bicycle, I run across a bicycle. If I want to find a trampoline, I run across a trampoline. All the object, everything you need is right here. You collapse the wave function by faith. Everything's at the cross. And so you collapse the wave function by faith, and everything that you need appears. It appears in the hologram. If you want to say it's a flat Earth, round Earth, or concave Earth, hollow Earth, it doesn't matter to me. I don't really care, but I know it's a hologram. And in a hologram, you find what you're looking for. If you're looking for the 666, you'll find it. If you're looking for the truth, you'll find it. If you're looking for lies, you'll find it. If you're looking for Jezebel, you'll find it. If you're looking for saints, you'll find them. If you're looking for righteousness, you'll find it. If you're looking for a Budweiser, you're going to find it. It's all out there. If you want death, you'll find it. If you want life, you'll find it. Somebody told me about 20 years ago, a family member, she said, I don't like this city because I just see drug heads everywhere. I said, I don't see them. The reason she saw druggies everywhere is because she was part of it. I don't see them. Where are they? Because I'm not a part of that world. The only reason you see druggies is because you're a part of it. The only reason you find it is because that's what you're looking for. You find what you're looking for. You vibrate with what you are. You vibrate with the people that you are. That you're kind. That's why it's called kind. That's why your grandmother said birds of a feather flock together. You can know a person's character by the people they hang around. Birds of a feather flock together. All the sayings, all the nursery rhymes tell you a holographic story. Birds of a feather flock together. Who you hang out with tells me your character. If you hang out with the drug heads, you're a druggie. If you hang out with the drunks, you're a drunk. If you hang out with the righteous, you're righteous. It's really easy. I mean, it's really easy. It's so easy. It's just not even. The hologram is a book. And just like you can take the Bible and rightly divide it and see the truth, you can actually see the truth right in front of you. You can see it on this windshield. You can see it on those houses. You can see the whole truth right here. This is a panoramic view of the whole truth. Here comes a car, black, white, and red. Black, white, and red. The same truth is here is right out there. I'm looking through a glass here. They got a glass on their house. And I got some, look at it. Here's a bottle. I'm looking through this. It's a clear surface. This glass is a clear surface. Over there across the street, their glass on their house is a clear surface. And here's a clear surface. It's holographic and it's fractal. The multiverse is each person's in their little story, but it's all the same story, a projection from the cross. But each person on the DVD disc, so when you start out here, you might be here, somebody else might be here, somebody else might be here, somebody might be at source, and they see all this as just a turning. So you might be divided. So you start out divided mind. As you approach the center, you become balanced, right? So as the world turns, as the hologram turns, you start to approach source. But you're divided out here, and as you approach it, you get more and more whole and more healthy and complete in the inner man. And so as you're out here, you're divided. So Look at that. I'm showing you something good and the light goes out. So as this thing's turning, as this DVD disc, DIVID, you're moving from a divided mind to your identity. And so as it cuts you, as it turns, it's cutting you and it's turning you. And so as you approach source, you're getting your identity. But as you're out here in Never Never Land, you're divided in your mind. You're not whole. You're divided. And you know you're not whole because you're doing things that are not healthy. Why do you want to hurt yourself? Something's not right. Why are you doing stuff that's not healthy? Because you're divided. You don't love yourself. Why don't you love yourself? Because you don't really know how God loves you. You can't love your neighbor if you don't even love yourself. You understand what I'm saying? 30 minutes, and I haven't even hit on really anything deep. Notice it says CD. Well, that's change directory. So you're changing the directory. You're changing from the flesh mind, the divided flesh mind, moving to the center point, moving back to source as the cycles turn, as time turns. You're not really going anywhere. The hologram is turning around you. The same story. It doesn't matter if you're at work, at home, at church, or at this grocery store. It's still the same disc. You feel like you're moving, but it's just the same story. So as this turns every day of your life, you get close, you say, wait a minute, you start to wake up and say, I don't like doing this. Why am I doing this? And you start to seek, people say, oh, I want to be balanced. I want to be centered. What is that about? Source, God. You're way out here. And as life turns, 10 years old, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, hopefully you're back to source before you get too old. And you say, I want to be balanced at 30 or 40 or whatever. Why wait till you're 80 to say, I want to be balanced and I want to hit center point? Why do you want to stay out here in misery when you can hit source code, which is God? Life is turning. The cogs turn slow, but they turn. And the whole purpose of the cogs is to push you to this center point. I don't care what city you're in. I don't care what nation you're in. I don't care what kind of work you're doing. I don't care if you're rich or poor. Everybody's on this disc. It's the same story. And as the cogs turn slow, but they're turning. And you're wasting away if you're not seeking truth.